Hello, good day everyone that is watching me this afternoon. This video this afternoon is an advice. I'll call it an advice for young engineers, say young builders and young architects, people who are mainly in this our construction field or engineering field. I'll put this advice in this way. It was a sad moment for me this afternoon that when a young engineer chatted me on Facebook and said, we are friends here, I want us to interact so that we can learn from each other. And he made a statement because I am feeling frustrated in this field and almost want to give us in this our field. When he made that statement, I said, wow. I told him, don't worry, as we are friends here on Facebook, we will continue to interact, and that is the main aim why I started up this building construction blog, to reveal many things that I can lay my hands onto. I told him not to feel frustrated. I told him I will teach any knowledge that I can remember, I can put out to the public so that young engineers will see it, and also clients will also see it, and especially to help young engineers or builders to be able to calculate if peradventure they did not learn it in school. Practically, they can be able to know this or that, a practical way of doing things, and the experiences that I've gotten. Practical experience, not something I'll just talk about. I believe you appreciate it. That's why I told him, please don't feel frustrated. And that made me to flash back to remember my own experience when I was coming up as a student, also about graduating from school. I recall and found out that our past generation of engineers, they used to hide a lot. They used to hide a lot. I remember one site, not one, not two, not three. I'll go up there as a final year student. I'll go up there and say, sir, I'm a student of so places. I want to come and see. I saw this iron work that is going on. I want to come and see so that I know whether I can be able to marry what I saw, I was told on the classroom with what I'm seeing on site. You say, that's the way. No, that's not the way to learn work. If I want to learn work, I will come and apply. I say, sir, I will just this moment. After staying this moment, I'm not coming. I just want to learn. I'm a student. I almost bring it out my ID card. I say, no, leave myself, leave myself. I will feel embarrassed. Wow. And that caused a knowledge drain in this our construction field. It caused a knowledge drain. I hardly see someone giving out a practical knowledge on site on what they are doing, or someone coming to teach, this is how to do this or that. It's almost difficult to get online. Well, if it is, I believe it is rare to see such. So I say to these my young engineers, don't feel frustrated. Please, don't feel frustrated. And the answer to that frustration information you gave me, I'll give it to you in two ways. Number one is my advice for you. Number two is my story. I'm going to tell you now an advice, and I'll tell you my story so that you see how I started. It is going to be very short now. How I started, how I'm moving on. Then I'll give you the advice now. My advice is this. As a young engineer, there's just one thing that you must do now. One thing you must do is go and learn a construction software. What do I mean? A software in this our field of study. If you're a young engineer, try and learn AutoCAD. 2D, learning AutoCAD 2D is enough for you. AutoCAD 2D. Then learn one structural design software. For me, I'm using Orion. I know a little bit of Start Pro. I use Orion, and I know AutoCAD. How do I learn it? I call someone, I'm here in Aba. I call someone right from Port Harcourt. Please come and teach me. Some years back, person have to come from Port Harcourt to come and teach me because I searched everywhere in Aba. That time, it was difficult to get someone who could teach me. Until I got a place, they said the person will have to come from Port Harcourt. I'll pay the transport once in a week. Okay, once in a week. We later enter twice in a week until within a month I was able to catch my hand, and through much practice I became perfect and using that AutoCAD today. Then Orion, that one is, I learned it when I was in contract in Owerri, Nekede. That Federal Polytechnic Nekede, that was when I learned it. So this is the first advice I'll give you. And that's number one answer to my story. But because one thing I found out that if you don't know any of this software, it will be difficult for you to get a job. From my experience, 90% of the work I have drawn and designed, I have constructed them. 90%. It's only about the remaining 10% that will say, they have someone they are giving it to do the construction for them. So don't forget this number one advice. Then I'm going to go into the number two advice. Just pay very close attention. The number two advice that I'm giving you this afternoon is my story, as I've told you before. I've given you the number one. The number two is my story, how I started. I'm going to put it in a way that you are going to see it as an example to copy from, so that you can apply it or take something out of it to see how to move yourself forward and don't feel frustrated as a young engineer. Now, let me start this way. I did a lot of jobs in the past, but I'm going to focus only on the construction aspect of the work that I've done in this life. After my school days, or during my school days and after my school days, I used to visit construction sites. Now, once I was through with school, what I did was, when I visit a construction site, I'll tell them, sir, I'm here, I want to learn. They said there is no vacancy. I told them I will work for free. I had many rejections, as I told you before. I had many rejections. Some people also allowed me. I said, okay. And many of the people that allowed me was mainly the local contractors, people who did not go to school, but they know the construction job. They are mostly the people that allowed me to stay with them. Now, I stayed with them. I gathered a lot of their local knowledge of buildings, both 2-story, 3-story, 4-story. I saw what they were doing. I stayed with them with time, from one construction site to another construction site to another local contractor. Once this one is finished, I will go to another one. I will say anyone that rejects me, I'll go to another one that accepts me. Once I am accepted, I will stay with them. I gathered a lot of knowledge. What did I do? I learned from what I read in Reach That Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki. Said, work to learn, not for the money. I copied that idea there. When I say I'm working to learn, with time, most of them started giving me some stipends. You can also apply this. If you see you are not getting a job, you can go there to learn first. So that once you are learning, when you gather a lot of knowledge, it gives you confidence that you can do this. And you can really approach anybody and tell them, I can do this. So that it's because of lack of knowledge that makes someone to believe that I'm feeling frustrated. That's one of the things. Just take this advice in my story that I'm telling you now. Now, it was what I continued doing, working with these local contractors, until I saw an advert by Descon Engineering and Construction Limited in Aba here, in the National Daily. I applied. When I applied, thank God, I wrote the exam. I passed. I came for interview. We were only 2 out of many people that came for that job interview. We were only 2 that was selected. So we started moving on. It was in this construction company, Descon Engineering Construction Company, that I received my professional touch. Over all the knowledge, I begin now to marry very well with what they taught me in school to what the professional is doing. There is always a difference between what a local contractor is doing to what a professional engineer is doing. The managing director of Descon is engineer. I love that man. He's a good man. He gave me, no matter the pay, he gave me a lot of chances to show what I can do. I did a lot of test fund projects with him, even under the supervision and management of senior engineers. I stayed with them, did a lot of test fund projects. I was under the supervision of many professionals. From Abuja, here, test fund offices, all of them. This one will come, these architects, country surveyors. In a meeting, we talked and talked and gathered a lot of knowledge. From there, I moved. It was just from there, I have to move on to another construction company. Just by, I met my uncle, one of my uncle, engineer, Okamong. I want to move on. I need a place that I could hire. He said, okay. He placed a call to one of his friends who needs the services of an engineer. Piam, that was it. Years ago, I applied. Interview happened. Before you know it, I started job. And I did, it was Construction Facility and Technologies Limited. I did 3 contracts with a person. It was also a test fund project, 2 in Nekede, 1 in Alvan. I didn't stay long in Avon, but the 2 in Nekede I completed. Now, look at the example I gave you. From working to learn to going into a construction company in Descon, where the question and the interview was just a cakewalk, what I have seen in years on the site. That's a question, and what I also know in the book as I read civil engineering. So that was it. After that, when I am through with construction facility, I said, no, let me establish my own company, even though I did it out of fear. But I did it out of fear, but fear was reduced after I must have gathered a lot of knowledge from all these great engineers and construction companies that I worked with. Even the greatest advice I received was from Engineer Roha, the managing director of Descon. He said one thing. He said, start up something. As you move on, you can smoothen the rough edges. Bam! That was it. It clicked in my head. And I never forget those words. I never forget it. I said, okay, I'm starting up. That was how we gave birth to Wonder Builders and Construction Limited. Now, I'll cut it short there to focus on how it will help you so that you will not feel frustrated. Once you must have learned this software knowledge that I told you in the first advert. Now my story is how I learned for free to gather knowledge. I work for free and I gather knowledge. With time they started giving me stipends. Now I'm telling you, once you say you want to establish yourself, you want to stay on your own to handle personal contract, something is involved here. You need to market yourself. How do you market yourself? Now, from my personal experience, that I say, all the people that have given me jobs to do came from my networks. Okay, let me explain what I mean, my network. The first one of the contracts that I received personally came from my daddy's friends. My dad's friend. And it was not his direct job. It was my dad's friend, the friend of my dad's friend, want to do something. He said, yes, I know a young man who is an engineer who can do this thing for you. Call my dad. My dad called me, and my dad linked me to that person, and I did that job wonderfully for that person. The person I did that job for also took me to another person inside his own circle, and that was how I did up to 3 contracts for them, and that is it. And it continued. Are you getting me? Even another contract that I did was, okay, that was an advice. Your contract will come from your network. That's what I'm saying. That shows that you need to market yourself among your network. Tell your networks, people, either in your church, either your daddy's friend. Tell your dad, tell your friend that I do this. Your mom, tell your friends that I do this. Tell your mom to tell her friends that your son used to do this kind of a thing. Are you getting me? I'm not saying your dad's brothers or your mom's sisters or brothers. No, that's not. Don't expect contract from them. I'm telling you the truth. It's your dad's friends and your mom's friends. Yeah, I don't know your own experience, but my own experience, I'm just telling you. Are you getting me? Those are the people that will trust you more to give you contract. Now, I also market myself in the church. Like, okay, I'm a Christian. I don't know if you might be a Muslim. In the place that I am, there's always an opportunity to do advert in any Christian program or booklet they want to do. I started by paying a little sum of money. Every time I did an advert in my church, one person would say, I don't know that you are an engineer. Come. The person will give me a contract. The next year, I'll do another advert. The other person will say, are you an engineer? You say, hey, now I've been marketing myself on the book. I said, didn't see that one. I'm just seeing it this one. You see, the reason why you should continue marketing yourself, even if it's in a Christian booklet, as a young engineer. That's what I was doing. From there, you will be putting in the minds of people that you are used to do. You are an engineer, used to do this, showcasing what you have done, what you are doing, and if there is a new contract, you say, work in progress in so place, to show the people that you know what you are doing and you are also at work. So that is the advice, the marketing side. That's what I mean by saying that the majority of the work I receive comes from my network. So you see, people in the church, people that is friends, and mom's friends. You see it? That's how the networks keep flowing. Even this contract I'm doing now, it came from, I'm a member of Boys Brigade, it came from one of my officers in the Boys Brigade. He said, I have one of my officers who who is very good in construction. He gave me, he said, you see, from network of friends and network of people around you. So don't feel frustrated. From this my little story that I cut short, you can use it, get something from it, and use it to move ahead. And that is how I'll be moving ahead. I keep marketing. Even the youth program is currently going on. They are doing a booklet. I have to pay to do an advert. It's a way of supporting them and also a way of showcasing that I can do this. If you have something that you can do, please call me. That is it. So if you as a young engineer continue in this way, you will never feel frustrated. So in summary, first advice, learn AutoCAD or learn any Star Pro, or even while doing Start Pro, please make sure that you also know another software engineer. You can software and what I mean is, make sure you know at least one or two. If you can't learn two, learn one and know it very well. You must also know the manual calculation as an engineer. That is what we are taught in school now. In case you come to a point in the Orion design or in the Star Pro design and you don't really fully understand what they're saying, so that you can do manual design to know exactly what Orion does. This software for design does for us. It makes the design to be faster. That within 2 days, 3 days, we can finish a design and then start putting up the structural drawing. It's not AutoCAD. So I advise. And one thing is that if you use AutoCAD and Orion, or you can import AutoCAD into Orion and use it to do your structural design. That is one of the advantage of using AutoCAD and Orion. So I don't know for others. So these are my advice. So if you can use it and apply it, whether you're an architect or you're a builder or you're an engineer or in any other field, I believe you will move out of ignorance and you can move yourself forward. Just don't give up in that field. Stay in it. Don't give up. Stay put. Don't go away until you achieve what you want in life, if it is truly what you want. Thank you for watching. You can share and tell other young engineers about this message. I believe somewhere, somehow, it will help someone. Wonder Builders say, they will.